All right. Good afternoon, Atlanta Music Project. You are now live with Miss Aisha for another edition of AMP Masterclasses, our online music education series. You can tune in here every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 4 p.m. for a lesson created specifically for you all, our strings, winds, and voice young musicians of the Atlanta Music Project. I encourage you to join in as much as you are able. I assure you, you will learn something. Now, for today's class, we have Mr. Rodney Allen, who is the intermediate winds teaching artist at South Bend Academy, or at our South Bend site. Now, as you go through this lesson with Mr. Rodney, here are a few things you need to know. Number one, you can see us, but we cannot see you. However, I encourage you to get your instrument, get it out, get it tuned up, and get ready to participate with Mr. Rodney as he goes through his lesson. If you have a question at any point, you are able to use the chat function and send in your question. I'll see it, and I'll be able to get that question to Mr. Rodney. He'll see it as well, but he may be teaching at the moment. Also, if you are doing an exceptional job of keeping up with Mr. Rodney and you want to show off what you are doing, you may have an opportunity to join us and have your video shown and do a little demonstration at some point in this lesson. We go from 4 p.m. to 4:30. Okay? So those are the things you need to know. I hope everybody is ready to go. We miss you. Hope everyone is safe and well. And at this point, I will turn it over to Mr. Rodney.
Okay, thank you, Aisha. So we're going over tone for wind instruments, band instruments. So before I get into any specific instruments, I'm going to go talk about what all instruments need to be doing. And this is on a daily basis. So you want to add this into your practice schedule. So let's see. So the first thing is posture. Like I always talk about the students at South Bend. We always have there's 3 components to posture. So whether you're standing up, you're playing standing up. So just keep your back straight. And I'm gonna just grab my trumpet for now. So yeah, just have a relaxed shoulders and your breath support. You're gonna breathe from your stomach. So a lot of students like to breathe, like beginners, they breathe from their shoulders and neck, but try to use your stomach as much as you can. So what your stomach does, it relaxes all your organs and lungs. It gives room for your lungs to fill up with as much air as possible, basically. So I'm gonna demonstrate that. So I'm gonna hold my stomach. I'm gonna take a deep breath. I know I'm kind of skinny, but you can still see my stomach goes out a little bit. So when you push your stomach out, your lungs have more room to soak up more air. So, and it's real fast too. I could take a fast, full breath of air like that, okay? So that's what we're gonna, I'm gonna keep reinforcing that. So when we're playing while seated, you just gotta make sure you're sitting at the edge of the seat. So just, yeah, the edge of the seat. Your back is off the back of the chair, but you're holding it up straight and your shoulders are straight. Feet flat on the floor. So this is what you go through on the first days of band class. So most students probably know this already. I know the South Bend students do. So those are the 3 components for posture: feet flat on the floor, edge of the seat, and back straight. So when you have that, it gives your stomach room to move. You see how fast I'm breathing? Like that, okay? That gives you a lot of air in a short amount of time, because sometimes you're playing passages and you need to only have a short little break to take a breath in. So that's when that allows you to take a lot of air in that way. All right. And if you all have any questions as I'm talking, just I think you could put some questions in the chat and I'll see it. Okay, so that's breathing. What else do we have? That's breath support. Universal embouchure for like all instruments. You're gonna want to I guess the main thing for getting a good sound on the instrument is being able to focus the air. So it's all about focusing the air. So how do you do that? You got to have a tight embouchure. So whether you're playing flute, flute is like this on your lip. The corners of your mouth still have to be tight, like that. See how my corners are tight? If you're playing trumpet and you're buzzing, it still has to be tight on the corners, like that. So yeah, and that's just clearing it, everything. And so you want to have like a lot of control, because that gives you control of the air when you have tight corners. All right. Also, you kind of want to open the back of your throat. So the way you do that is just think the ha syllable, or like you're fogging up it's a cold day and you're trying to fog up a window. You use hot air. That'll like kind of focus the air in. So I could do that on the flute. I got tight corners. I'm thinking the ha syllable. That'll give me some hot air. So when the sound is kind of thin, that's when you're not really focusing the air. I would just think, I'm gonna just do a demonstration. I'm not gonna think hot air. I'm gonna play a note. So it's kind of thin that way. But when you think ha, it kind of gives you more air. So it just makes the note sound more clear and fuller that way. If that makes sense. And that goes for all instruments. Yeah, let's see. I'm sure I wrote some stuff down. And sometimes you have to drop your jaw, because that'll get your tongue and your whole mouth out the way, the inside of your mouth, out of the way of the air. So I'm play the same note. And you drop your jaw just a little bit, like this. Yeah, let more room for the air to come through. So those are just some things to think about while you're playing. So like if you're not satisfied with your sound, just kind of like go over the easy parts of your music and incorporate that, and it should sound a little better. What else do we have? All right, I think I might just get into some of the brass instruments. My main instrument is saxophone, but I'm pretty good on woodwinds. But still I could teach brass too. So the main thing about brass is good to do. You buzz on your mouthpiece, of course. This is for like beginner students. Intermediate students still do it, but it's still a good workout when you don't have your instrument. So let's see. I have a trumpet mouthpiece and a trombone mouthpiece. They're the same thing. Tight corners and buzz. Like that. All right. So I'm sure all the beginner students know that. Intermediate. So y'all want to intermediate students, y'all could do exercises like on the mouthpiece. Get a low note, middle note, and a high note. So let's start with the middle note. So I got my deep breath. So let's try to get a low note. So you relax your lips to get the lower note. Still a lot of air though. So y'all saw y'all heard how that was lower. To get a higher note, you kind of want to drop your jaw, tighter lips, faster air. And then you just want to slur them all the way. So you can start high, middle, low, or low, middle, high. I would probably do the high, middle, low first. And then go up. So low, middle, high. So yeah, those are good exercises you could do on your mouthpiece. Same for trumpet. Yeah, like that. So I know beginner students usually do that, but it's still good to go over that whenever you can as an intermediate student. Brass also are good with overtones. That's a key term there. Overtones is what are overtones? It's just the series of notes. So the lower the note is, they're kind of they're spread further apart. So the overtone series, it starts with, what does it start with? Concert B flat. I just do the trombone. Let me get my trombone up. So we're going to start with B flat. All right, so we have a B flat. The overtone series is B flat to high, well, the next B flat. So that's an octave. No, to the F. Sorry about that. It's a fifth. Yeah, we're going to start from B flat to the fifth. That's what we're doing. So I think there's a lower one that's out of the range for the trombone, but we're going to start on the B flat. So trombone players and trumpet players, y'all will start. Trumpet is start on C, trombone is start on B flat, and then we're going to go up a fifth. So trombone is B flat. We're going to go B flat to F. So there are the overtones because I don't have to move the slide. So we get different notes in one position, same as trumpet. No keys, just open. That's C to G. I see a chat. Let's see what it is. Someone said hello. All right, Jordan. Hey, Jordan. Thanks for joining us. So I hope I have some trombone players out there that could really benefit from this. I'm gonna do a little trumpet too. But let's start on concert B flat and then go up a fifth to F. So it's easier to tongue it. The goal is to be able to slur it. Slur means no tongue. So y'all should have heard the difference. Two, that's tongue. Two, hoo, that's slurred. And then it goes up. You might want to just Google the overtone series chart. Just all the frequencies just go smaller and as high as you can. But band students will just go up to root, fifth, root, and maybe the third. So we have B flat, F, B flat. I'm gonna tongue them. And then we go up to the third. A lot of students go up to the third. That's a D. I think I have some chats.
I'll do the chats.
Oh yeah, I got you. Okay, so we went up to the third. That's that high D. So that's the goal for a lot of beginner and intermediate students. And then back to the B flat. All right. So those are, we'll just start with work with those today. So those are what, four notes? B flat, the root, fifth, root, third. So we have B flat, F, B flat, D. All right. Let's try that on trumpet. Trumpet is a smaller mouthpiece. So it really needs a lot of air. I'm gonna tongue it first, then I'm gonna slur it. All right. So yeah, I got up to the high E. That's the third for the trumpet. So then once you get comfortable tonguing that up and down, then you could slur it. Slur it like this. I'm gonna try it. All right. So just get a you just got to make a routine to where you could do that kind of stuff every day. There's a lot of resources out there. Just googling the overtone series, you could see it written out for you. What else do we have? Overtones for brass. Long tones also. I should have did that. Let's do long tones. So I know y'all probably hear the term long tones all the time. So it is what it exactly what it said. A long note. So you just hold a note out for a long time. Just as long as you can, just keep it as full and in tune as possible. Always think about the high syllable, tight corners. And then work on the notes that are hard, like let's do G. And then let's do C. So I probably should work on that C. So then do dynamics. Y'all know what dynamics are? Loud and soft. So hold the C out. Just come up in volume and down in volume. Yeah. So I'm not going to do that on high C. I'm going to try that on the low C. We're going to do it loud and soft. Yeah, so y'all saw how I got loud, and I kind of and I brought it down to soft too. You want to be able to do that and keep it as in tune and full as possible. Another thing y'all want to get, download an app, the tuner app. I like the Sound Corset. I would recommend that. That is a Sound Corset. SOUND That's a good app for tuning, and it has a metronome as well. So I'm gonna show you on my phone. Y'all see that? So yeah, it shows you when you're sharp. Yeah, sharp, flat, or good in the green in the middle. Let's see what I am. I'm gonna play. Haven't played this cornet in a while. Let's see where I am. I'm a little sharp. So whenever you're sharp, just pull out. Also, what helps, you don't want to pull out too much. And if you're sharp, also drop your jaw. That helps too. So I just pulled out a little bit. And that goes for all instruments. Let's see if this is better. So yeah, I dropped my jaw a little bit and I pulled it out, and that adjusted the tuning just that quick. So yeah. So that's y'all want to get this app, and it's good for the metronome. Metronome is just as important as tuning. I think I'll go over to some woodwinds right now. I have my flute and my clarinet. So flute, the embouchure is different. You gotta you have to, so here's the flute mouthpiece. It's really not a mouthpiece. It's just a hole that you blow across. So that's what makes the flute so hard and so much air demanding. So because there's no resistance, the air just goes straight through. So you really have to be able to focus the air. So I hope I have a lot of flute players out here. I know we usually do with amp. So you want to put your your bottom lip at the very bottom of the hole. The pink part, try not to put that part. The soft pink fleshy part right here. Tight corners. Relax your top lip. I'm going to play a B flat. Then a high B flat. And flute is real sensitive to tuning too, so I'm gonna pull my tuner out. I usually recommend having like intermediate and beginner students have the head joint. This is called the head joint. Have it out about 1 centimeter. So I don't know if hopefully y'all can see that. That's about 1 centimeter. And for flute, another secret is you can roll out. That means roll it out this way, away. Roll the hole away from your face. That makes it doesn't make it sharp or flat. That makes it sharper. If you roll it out, so if you're flat, you need to roll it out some. If you're sharp, you need to roll it in some. But just a little bit. Nothing extreme. All right. Let's see. And then the same thing, you want to do long tones with all the notes. So if you're playing a specific piece in your band class or whatever, and it's always a note that sticks out, that's always in tune, you need to just circle that note and put a lot of focus into it when you're practicing. So target that note and use a metronome and do long tones over it. This is a high G. It's usually out of tune for most flute players. So yeah, just be able to, do that with a metronome. I'm in a tuner, and make sure you could keep the cursor in the middle. All right, let's look at clarinet a little bit. Clarinet is a little tricky. It's similar to a saxophone because it has a reed, an actual mouthpiece, and a ligature. Same thing. You put the reed on the pink part of your lip. You press it against your bottom row of teeth, and then you place the reed on the lip. All right. This is a very flat embouchure, still tight on the corners. Your top teeth are on top of the mouthpiece. This is a B flat instrument, so I'm gonna play a C. All right. So yeah, hopefully we have some clarinetists out there. What else? So what's the struggle for clarinet? So usually when students get to intermediate level, is going over the break. So that's the challenge for that. So when you get to the higher notes like A and B flat, the front A and this B flat, you really have to focus the air for those notes because they're less fingers down. So yeah. So work on those with the embouchure, with the tuner. And then work on different techniques to go over the break. Usually keep your right hand down. So I'm gonna play from A to B natural. That's from A So every finger down, be natural. So that's the struggle for clarinets. So you want to just be able to do that with, as much ease as possible. Usually you keep your right hand down for both the notes. All right. So we covered most of the instruments. We got brass and woodwind. We got about 5 more minutes. So let's see. I don't see any questions.
We do have a question.
Oh, okay.
This is for flute. On the flute, how much of the tone hole do you cover with your bottom lip?
Tone hole. So you don't want the hole covered. You just want kind of just barely want to touch the hole with your bottom lip. So your bottom lip is right here. You don't want to cover none of that up. So can y'all see that? I'm really not covering it up. When I do cover it up, it's going to sound airy. So all the sound goes away. So you don't cover it up. You just keep it right at the edge of the hole. Yeah. All right.
Good.
Makes
Thank
sense,
you so
right?
very much.
Oh yeah. Okay. That was the only question, right?
That was the question I had so far.
Yeah.
And if anyone else has any questions, you can send them in now.
Yeah. I guess the last thing I want to reinforce is just consistency. Really, I know a lot of y'all are in ensembles and different band classes. Um, so you just want to get a schedule and do it every day. Just practice every day. All the hard notes that are giving you a problem, use a tuner. Do different exercises. Make different games. That's what I have a lot of my students do. Um, just look up some exercises online. You could play loud and soft. Just keep it steady. That's the best thing you could do. Just turn on the tuner, do it loud and soft. I might just demonstrate it real quick. So here's my tuner. I'm just going to play an open C sharp so that I can hold the
Mr. Rodney, can you tell us the name of the tuner, the app, one more time?
app. Let's see, Sound Corset.
And you guys can see the title in the chat group as well, Sound Corset. So Mr. Rodney, check this out. It's free and it's wonderful. So definitely use this for your tuning and metronome needs for
Yeah.
at-home practice.
Yeah, you can't beat it. It has a recording function. It has a few beats you could play your music to. Tuner, of course, and then it is, what is it? It plays the note for you, so you could hear when it's out of tune to compare the notes. All right. Yeah, let's see.
For the 2 minutes we have left, flute students, I see a bunch of you guys on here. Is there anyone that would like to demonstrate flute, clarinet, trumpet, trombone, oboe?
Oh yeah, I
Anyone
forgot
that
about the
would like
double
to
reed.
demonstrate? Um, uh, Let me mute myself. For what Mr. Rodney went over. Oh my God! And I apologize, Jordan and
Oh,
bassoon. I
yeah,
didn't.
soon.
So, Jordan, would you like to demonstrate since you've been quite engaged in today's class? Now's your chance. Now he's quiet.
Jordan. Okay. Yeah, that's what I don't have any double reeds on me right now, so we could definitely use a bassoon demonstration. Uh, but yeah, I'm sure the same thing applies. Just focus in the air, consistency, doing different exercises, getting creative. You could, you know, just whatever's giving you a problem, you want to tackle that note and just make sure you could hold it in tune for a certain amount of time.
Okay, Mr. Rodney, that was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yep.
To our young musicians that have tuned in, I hope you all enjoyed today's class on tone development for winds. Tomorrow, we will be right back here at 4 p.m. for a session that is appropriate for everyone, and it is How Do I Practice? We have lots of weeks ahead of us at home where you will really be depending on yourself to guide your musical growth. And it's important that you know how to properly practice. And it is a skill that takes really like a lifetime to learn, but we're here to help you out and give you a jump start. So please come back tomorrow at 4, have your instrument ready, maybe have a notebook ready, and get ready to learn some good stuff. Thank you guys so much. Hope you're well, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. See you tomorrow.
Great. Thank you.
Bye.